Hello everybody, Dragana here from Saacibo. Welcome back to my channel. I have been trying to organize my craft room last few days, especially my ephemera, like little pictures, fussy cuts, bits and pieces. Like I've tried over the years different types of organizing and nothing seems to work. When I want to do something, I want to have things accessible. I want to be able to see, oh, this is what I want, and I'll just grab it, rather than go and rummage through the papers. And in the past, I had these kind of like see-through envelopes made with acetate, and they worked fine for a while, but because I was opening and closing them so much, most of them lost their flaps, and then these bits became really sharp and I was injuring myself all the time, and it made me really frustrating. But they worked for a while, you know, and it's just in the end it was just still, I had to go through them and take things out, in and out, and you know, it started to annoy me. Then I had these little pouches that were recycled from I don't even know what, but a bit better, it's not, you know, material, not acetate, more like a vinyl, softer, but still I would have to take everything out, and it really annoyed me. And then I'd forget that I have things, and you know, especially with little die cut pieces that I'm needing, so that didn't work. And then I thought, how about I try something like this with a little book. Again, these are recycled packaging. Again, I had to open and close and take everything out, and you know, and I'm go through, and it's just, you know, I don't know, it just didn't work either, so I wasn't happy with that one. And then I revisited my old idea from 2 years ago, or even 3 years ago. I created a little like album for myself with acetate and just these old suspension files. And I was trying to remember what it didn't work and why I stopped using them, and then I realized I had some plain paper at the back, so it was going like this, and I had them all in one signature, I think, you see. And especially with these parts here, these were a great idea, but if you have lots of small things that you tuck in here, because of that, if you turn it around, things fall out, and that annoyed me. You know, I had to keep it upright all the time, otherwise I would be losing things. You know, like these things, deeper pockets worked for tags, like these ones. These were fine because I stitched across, so the smaller pictures, they would stay in place, they wouldn't come out, like here as well. But these ones were not working really well, so I thought I can improve on that. These were great for tags, like for taller tags, for smaller tags, you know. These as well for bigger ones. Those work, and those worked really well. I could have like a triple pocket, side pocket, where I could put bigger pictures inside. And I think I needed more of these, and more of these bigger ones. So, and I used to have them like this. Show you quickly, like in one, and then it became too thick. By the time I put everything inside, I wouldn't be able to close it, and it was really annoying. So I thought, instead of throwing this all away, since I've spent a lot of time sewing this, I was thinking how I can improve it and make it really work for me. And I thought, how about I join two together like this, glue them or sew them around anyway, and have that as one signature and bind it properly instead of just with elastic. You know, that way it might not move as much. So, and these ones, I thought I should probably stitch across here and make those smaller pockets the same with this one. So, and then join them together to have another one like that. These were fine, but perhaps here I could have a piece of acetate on top, so that it actually stops things from falling out, like just like a little flap. Put a little flap, you know what I mean, just across here, and so that I can lift it up, take what I need and put it down. These were fine. I don't think anything was falling out of these, but mainly from the small ones and perhaps from those. These were fine as well, and these were okay to use as they were. So I think I have now, I thought about how many I have in pairs. Two here, that's 4, and I have this one, so perhaps I can make another one to have 5 pairs, and then I can bind it into a journal. I can join them and improve them, and it's a really great idea if you have things visible to you. You know, you can put 3 or 4 little tags and pull them out as you need them, or with these ones, like I said, they were great for little stamps and things like that. It's just the things were started to fall out. So what I need to do now, before I forget, is to just stitch across here to make those pockets smaller. So these need improvement on that. And perhaps, I don't know, should I put like a little like a flap on top? Not sure, maybe I should for those smaller bits, but for this smaller pockets, because these ones don't really need it. Nothing was falling out. As long as they're deep enough, they were fine. Remember that. But this one would need something as well on top. I'll just put them aside, the ones that need improvement, and these as well. Just the smaller pictures were falling out. I can't remember these. I think these were fine, and these were fine as well. Alright, and at the same time, like I will improve these and join these together, but I want to show you on just a sample how to make one like that, because I need one more to make 5 pairs. So I'll just take this apart. Let me see, how do I do that? That's right, I only used the bottom bit. I'll just use one as a guide for measurement. I might as well let you know the measurements. They are 7.8 inches, and here 7 inches. So 7 inches that way and almost 8 this way, but you can make them any size you want. I can't remember why I made them this side, but I just did, and I think it worked, so I don't know. In centimeters, that is 20 centimeters and 17.8 across. Alright, so I'll just put a few marks here, because I want them to be exactly the same as the ones that I've made before, like so, and then I'll just cut. You can draw a line and cut with your scissors, but I prefer to do it with a knife. I would have preferred these suspension files to be in a different color, white or cream, something more neutral, gray, you know, but I have red and I'm going to use the red, although it's not my color of choice for this. It's much easier to see things when they're on neutral color. There is a reason, obviously, that the gallery walls are always white. It's because you can see the image better, and this is an album basically, you know. So we have this. It's the same, isn't it? Yep. And now I want to make, I think I want to make another one of these. another one of these. So for that, I think I used just one of the, I used the thinner one. Let me just grab a thinner acetate than this one. This one is quite kind of thick, and I want to get a thinner one. The thinner one will work better because I don't want to necessarily add to the thickness. By the time I put all the images inside, it might become too thick. So what I'll do is, this is probably, is it half? I'll cut this one in half for the bigger pockets. So I'll just press down like so. Might even do it this way. Alright. So that will be my larger pocket. It's too tall, so I need to trim about 1 inch from the top. It's not easy to cut this. I won't really measure, this is just going to be approximate. Okay, and I will round the corners on one side. Oops, that didn't work as I expected. Use my scissors. So great. Right. So that one will go there, and this one will go here. So now we need another 2 smaller ones. So again, I will cut this one in half. I lost my bone folder. It's probably somewhere here in this mess, but I can't be bothered looking for it, so I'll just do it like this. Okay, and I think, yeah, I've fold one small in half. And I'm using the acetate that is the A4 size. Corners again. Alright, so we have those smaller bits, and we need yet another smaller piece. So I will think this one I will it about that much. Like, there's no need really to measure any of these, because if you're making one for yourself, you're basically customizing it to whatever size you need for your ephemera, you know. So I don't really think it's necessary to follow the exact measurements as I'm having here, because it's all going to be different. But just in case you are wondering, I will let you know the dimensions. So the big pocket is 7.5 inches by 5.8, 5 3/4, and the smaller one is 5 3/4 and 4 1/4, and the small one is almost 3 1/2 by 5. Okay, so I would now take this, because I'm going to probably glue it like this. I might as well put it on the inside of this part. So I will line them up on one side like this, so that the rounded corners are here, and I would place them not all the way to the edge. I would leave about 1/4 inch, and this is going to be a little bit tricky sewing, because you don't want it to move. And I'm trying to remember how I did it last time, whether I used tape or clips. I probably used clips. Let me just grab some, if I could find them. Yep. Here. Like that. So now I need to just do a straight stitch on the bottom and the side, and I leave this open. I suppose you can flip it around and do it this way, but then things might start falling out of your book. You know, I find that this is probably the easiest way. And you know how the acetate, sometimes it has that static effect. It's actually good, because when you put pictures inside, they might actually stuck to it and not come out, fall out. So I might as well do this one. Just line it up. Suppose if you have some pretty cardstock and things, you can even make these in with a beautiful design, or put some book pages. But for me, I just need this ephemera stored and accessible and visible, and I don't really have time to spend on making it look pretty, so I will just leave this as is, just plain like that. So I'm going to stitch here and here, and I will be back now. I hope you can see I did not go all the way to the edge, and some of the parts have moved a little bit, but that doesn't bother me really. It's okay. So the acetate is about 1/4 inch away from the edge, and this is another 1/4 inch, so altogether, not quarters, sorry, 0.2 inch, 0.2. So altogether is about 1/4 inch away from the edge, the thread. And I didn't back up the threads because that might damage the acetate. So I find that when you work with materials like that, that are kind of break easily, it's best to actually pull the threads towards the other side and make a knot to stop it from unraveling. So I will just do a double knot here. and I won't even cut that off. I will just put some masking tape or washi tape, whatever you have, just like that, because we are going to glue this on top, so it's not going to be visible. So let's do the same here. This one's probably too long, so I'll just cut it like that. It was quick, wasn't it? It moved a little bit here, that's all right. So that is it. So now I can join these two together, and I'm thinking whether I should just glue them together or glue them and then stitch them. I'm still thinking. It is going to be used a lot, so I'm thinking it's best if I do just glue with glue stick, and then just to hold it in place, and then just go around both of them and turn them into one. Now, because of the thickness, I'm thinking perhaps, you know how they look the same now, but when you close it, one is sticking out more than the other. And when you're sewing things, you're gonna be sewing like this, and then when you try to close it, it's going to look like this. It's not gonna be right. So I'm thinking perhaps I need to one of them just cut the spine off and then glue to the actual back without the spine. So because when I stitched, I didn't stop the thread there. I can't really cut that one because it will unravel, but I can cut this one. So I'll show you what I mean. I will just take a little bit off, just a tiny bit off, a couple of millimeters, like so. Basically open it up, and then I will glue it to this bit. Now it will be much easier to fold. So my glue stick is dirty because I was doing some fabric collages, so I'll just, just to hold it in place, because I am going to stitch this. It's the only way it's going to last me. All right, like that. And the same with this one. You see, I used to cover the stitches before, I just put a black paper and made even little pockets, and that did not work. It was just plain ugly, and I hated it. So I couldn't take it all off. Some of it is left, but I don't mind because I'm going to glue this down and it's not going to be visible. Alright, so now we haven't thought about this. This is lifting a little bit now. To put masking tape on or some decorative washi tape, or I can even stitch that as well, and then it's going to stay in place. Or I suppose I can just use stronger glue. Let's try that. Just lift up a little bit. this a little bit longer. I think I should stitch it because I have a feeling it's going to eventually break apart from overuse. And I've noticed I've just gone a couple of millimeters over, probably made it slightly bit bigger, so I'm just going to trim that with my knife before I take it to the sewing machine. And my ruler is not long enough. Let me get a bigger one. Alright, so I will take this to my sewing machine and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I did make a bit of a mess, I have to admit. I started with a straight stitch this way, across here, and then came back here, and that was fine. And then I thought I'd turn it around and do a straight stitch all around. But because this acetate was on both sides, and relatively close to the edge, it kept pushing my needle out, so it kept falling off. And I got to about here and I thought, no, this is not going to work. So I switched to zigzag stitch, which worked actually better. And then I went around and around and around, and I thought I'll go over what I've done the first time. And I got to here and then I ran out of thread, and I didn't realize I had the yellow thread underneath. I didn't want that, but you know, it's the first one, so hopefully with the other ones I'll do a bit of a better job. But it's actually really kind of sturdy now, and it works, closes both ways, it's flexible, and I can store the pictures easily. So let's see here, what did we say? We want to do a little flap on top, and I'm thinking, should I do just one that's bigger, that can be lifted like that? Probably. It would save me a lot of time stitching. So I'm thinking if I have two, that would work. I'll just cut this one in half. I suppose it doesn't have to go all the way down. It would be enough. Is it long enough? Honestly, I can't decide. I think it's better this way. If it's not all the way to the edge, that's fine. Nothing is that small to actually come outside. And this way I'll just trim about an inch and have it all the way, because as I put things in, it's going to be a bit bulky, I think, so I'll need a longer flap. I'll just trim it. Now I lost my knife. That and alright, so now again, before I glue it to another piece, I want to, and I suppose I can do this, oh no, I'll do it separately and then I'll do the overall stitch. It's just much easier. Again, I'll go a couple of millimeters away from the edge so that it's not in the way of me stitching it together with another piece. I'll do one here as well. It does seem like a bit of work, but I don't mind if it's going to help me in the long run you know, being able to find things easily. I'll just do a straight stitch across here and I will be back. Okay, you see what I mean, just like that, and now we'll round the corners. Oh no, it got stuck. Doesn't want to cut it. I'll just get a piece of paper, put underneath. Might work better. It's annoying when that happens. Okay, again, we need to pull the threads to the other side. That is my crochet hook. This is what I'm using it for. Just a really tiny one. It helps. Let's cut that off. Put a piece of sticky tape. And the same here. So that one is done. Great. I think these were working all right, but these were falling out, if I can remember correctly. So I probably need to put some sort of closure there. But these were fine, just the way they were. So I suppose I can then put those two together. That would work fine. Alright, but I will do it later. Now, I said with these, things were falling out constantly. These are the ones that annoyed me the most. You know, you put little pictures, show you what I mean. Little die cuts, and as soon as you have a lot of them, they keep falling out. If you have more than two, you know, and it's all full, and I kept losing things. So I think I want to just do a straight stitch, either just half, perhaps half would be enough. Or maybe 3. Yeah, so this can be used for smaller pictures, so I'll just do 3. So I'll just do a straight stitch from here to here, from here to here, and the same on those, like that. And that will make these openings a little bit tighter, so things won't fall out that easily. Okay, and I will do that and add the flaps like I've shown you here to them as well. And then I will be back to show you what I've done. Alright, I'm back. As you can see, I added flaps on top, and on this one I created smaller pockets by just going across there, same here. And on this one again I put a flap, but I decided to go halfway and then half to have 4, so I can probably have like little postage stamps and things like that, really small pieces, but tickets and things like that, you know. These would be too big, but they can go in here like that if I have a little image stamped or something. And for these ones, I'll just see if I have an example. Yeah, have those cute little die cut shapes, and they could go in here like so, and the keys, you know, little things like that, that, you know, if they're in a bag like that, you just, you know, you have to open it up and look for it, and I don't know, I just find it time consuming. So I suppose I can have them like that ready, and I can see what I have, and I just take it out. And now what's left to do is join those two in the same way that I have joined those, and that goes for all of them. So I will join them all together like I did with the first one I showed you, and then I will be back to show you what they look like. Alright, I am back. I have joined all 5, or actually all 10 together to make 5. And I think they look great, and most of all I think they're going to be really practical. So what's left to do now is to create the cover for it. And to create the cover, I want it to be you know, I'm not gonna squash them like that and make a tiny cover, because these are going to be full of images, so, and then I'll get like something like this. So I want to make sure I have plenty of room to grow, so I'm going to space them and then measure this. So I think I need at least 3, maybe 3.5 inches spine. It's going to be a big book, but actually 2.5 would be, not 3, 2.5 inches. Probably make a spine like that, and a cover, and then bind it all together, and then put images inside. But for now I just want to, because I'm gonna do the cover at a different time, but now I just want to see how is this going to work. So I have my stamped images of bugs, for example. I can stack them there. And some fussy cards. Let's see, bust images. These can fit in as well. And I can have more than one. I can have several in the same pocket. So, okay, that's that one. And I have the flaps, so nothing is going to fall off outside. Let's see what else. Okay, here I have some bigger images. And they could go probably in here, into these ones. Have them like that. Or if they're not cut, I can have them like this. These ones as well. Haven't been cut yet, but I can just slide them inside. What else do we have here? Little more of these that need to be cut. I can have them there and cut them when I have time. So where are the little ones? These ones. These were the ones that caused me problems before, and I want to just test them now. I have some small pictures here. Let's see how they work. Oops, I didn't realize I actually have to trim that bit off. Got caught in the sewing. Oh, good. So now I can put those little images and they're not gonna fall out. It's great. I'm really happy. Oh, this is too big for that. I'm really happy with the result. I must say it wasn't that easy sewing this acetate and 2 layers of cardstock. Acetate tends to, look at this, got stuck. I left it too long. Acetate tends to slip and move, and I actually had to keep pulling, so it didn't want to go through easily. That's what I'm trying to say, like when you do a fabric, when you sew fabric, and I think it's you know, the only thing that actually was difficult. The rest is fine. I actually enjoyed creating little pockets and sizes, so you can take this any way you like. You can make them as big or as small as you need them, and have whole variety of different pockets and you know, whatever you need for your project. You see, put that one in there, and there are my fussy cut butterflies that haven't been cut properly, so maybe I can put them there and have more of them there. I think this is going to work for me better, and I can organize them. Got some more images here. See how it works in these. Where are they? See how difficult it is to get them out of these pockets. It's just annoying me. So I want to test this side. These slightly wider pockets. Nice. I think this works really well, and it was totally worthwhile, the effort. And I'll just make a nice cover, and I can have it as an album of my little pictures that I use for journal making and ephemera making. I've got more here. Yeah, these ones, little die cut shapes. I think I have a round one for that. This one here. See, I have to open this and take them out and then look through. It just takes forever. This way I can have them. Alright, so I can probably spend whole day sorting this out. There's just so much to sort out, and I'm not going to do it in front of the camera because it might be boring for you. So I will try and make a cover for this little album, and once I do that, perhaps in one of the next videos I'll show you what it looks like once it's finished and filled with all the bits and pieces. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got inspired to make your own little album, or even if it's just 1 page, it's fine, or you can make 10 pages. I have 5, not pages, 5 signatures, but you can go as many as you want. Or you can have several of them. You can have one for butterflies, one for, you know, tags and things like that. It's up to you. You make your own, you customize it to your own need, but this is just the idea of what it can be done and how it can be used. So that will be it from me today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope I see you in my next video. Bye for now. Bye.